What is God? This is the question humans have asked since the beginning, and it is the question that Theosophy approaches with the greatest caution. Not because the answer is forbidden, but because the path to understanding is long, and each step along that path must be walked, not skipped. Tonight, let us walk together. There are two ways to seek knowledge in this world. The first is the Western way, the way of the intellect, the way of observation and measurement. With telescopes, we explore the vastness of space. With microscopes, we penetrate the smallest structures of matter. We gather facts, we build theories. We spread our knowledge outward in every direction. This method has given us wonders, discoveries, technologies that would seem like magic to our ancestors. But there is something this method cannot do. It cannot penetrate to the essence of things. It can describe what surrounds us. It can measure and categorize. But it cannot reach the source. It cannot touch the divine. That requires a different path entirely. The second way is ancient, as old as humanity itself. In Egypt, in Greece, in India, in every civilization that sought wisdom, there were those who understood that knowledge of the divine cannot be found by looking outwards. It must be found by developing inwards. The students of the ancient mysteries did not simply study facts, they transformed themselves. Through years of discipline and inner work, they developed capacities that most humans never awaken. They opened what we might call spiritual senses, eyes that could see beyond the physical, ears that could hear what cannot be spoken. At each new stage of development, they gained new insight. And with each stage, they drew closer to the divine source. They understood something crucial. You cannot grasp God with the intellect alone. You must elevate yourself. You must become capable of higher perception. Here is what these seekers discovered. The divine is not somewhere far away, not seated on a distant throne, not separate from creation. The divine is in all things, in nature, in the cosmos, and in you. We are not the whole of divinity, but we are a drop of the same essence, the same quality, the same nature. Imagine the sun reflected in a drop of water. The drop is small, the sun is vast, and yet the reflection is true, complete, real. You are like that drop, a true reflection of the divine, not a copy, not an imitation, a genuine expression of the source. But this divine nature lies deep within us, hidden in inner depths we rarely visit, buried beneath the noise of daily life. We must seek it. We must bring it up from those depths, and when we do, we bring up something that transcends our ordinary existence. This is what it means to live a theosophical life, not simply to study ideas, but to make them live in truth within yourself, to walk the path of development, to climb step by step toward higher understanding. The teachings of reincarnation, of karma, of the different planes of existence, these are not mere concepts to memorize. They are steps on a stairway, and the stairway leads upward toward the source of all things. Only those who have climbed to the highest stages of human development can truly comprehend the scope of what we call God. The rest of us are still climbing, still learning, still approaching, and that is exactly as it should be. This is why the Theosophist speaks about divinity with such care. Consider how the Hindu speaks of Brahman, not Brahman the creator God, but Brahman, the impersonal absolute behind all gods, behind all forms, behind all names. If you ask the Hindu what Brahman truly is, he falls silent, not because he is ignorant, but because he knows that words cannot contain it, concepts cannot capture it. The deepest truth can only be pointed toward, never fully grasped. The motto of Theosophy expresses this perfectly. No religion is higher than truth. What does this mean? It means that every religion, every philosophy, every worldview is an attempt by the human spirit to approach the source of existence. Each one sees the mountain from a different angle. Each one describes something real, but none of them sees the whole. We must hold our opinions humbly. We must recognize that what we believe today we may transcend tomorrow. The truth itself remains beyond all opinions, ever revealing, never fully revealed. There is something within us that goes beyond thinking. We have thoughts, we form concepts, we build mental images of God and the world. But behind all of this, there is life itself, the living current that flows through all things. And this life is divine. We can never fully comprehend it. We can never wrap it in a final definition, but we can feel it. We can align ourselves with it. We can let it carry us forward. The German poet Goethe understood this. He wrote that when human nature works as a whole, when we feel ourselves part of a great and beautiful universe, when harmonious comfort grants us pure delight, then the universe itself, if it could feel, would rejoice at having reached its goal. What speaks from the human heart, God speaks from it, if only we listen. If only we do not let our everyday concerns drown out that inner voice. Yes, different people hear different things. Different ages produce different concepts of the divine. But this does not mean all concepts are equal. Some are higher than others. Some are closer to the source. What matters is that we never stop climbing. Our present age has reached a strange low point in its conception of God. Materialism has become a kind of religion. Matter and force are worshipped as the ultimate reality. Atoms swirling in empty space are supposed to explain everything, including the soul itself. But consider what this actually means. In ancient times, some people worshipped animals as gods. Others worshipped plants. These were living things. They contained something vital. Before that, some worshipped stones, blocks of dead matter, fetishes carved by human hands. The materialist who says that matter and force are the ultimate reality stands at the same level as those fetish worshippers. The difference is that the ancient worshipper did not know any better. The materialist of today could know better if only they wished to see. When science declares that it has explained God away, it has merely revealed its own limitations. It has mistaken the surface for the depth, the measurement for the meaning. So what is the theosophical concept of God? It is not pantheism, though it sees the divine in all things. It is not a personal God seated on a throne, though it recognizes that humans will always form personal images. It is not a fixed definition at all. Behind Brahma stands Brahman. Behind every name stands the nameless. Behind every form stands the formless. The divine lives in our deeds, in our words, in our striving. We cannot prove its existence the way we prove a scientific fact. We can only seek it, approach it, open ourselves to it. Theosophy is not theology. It is not knowledge of God as a finished concept. It is the search for God, the path toward ever greater understanding. The philosopher Schelling asked, "Can one prove the existence of existence itself?" The question contains its own answer. Existence is not something to be proven. It is something to be lived. In the 15th century, there lived a Catholic cardinal named Nicholas of Cusa. He was a theosophist before the word existed. Cusanus taught that all religions contain a core of truth, that they are different views of the same primordial reality, that they should be reconciled and deepened, not fought over. He said something profound about the concept of God. When we say God exists, we are using a word, being, that we learned from our senses. We see things, we hear things, and we say they exist. Then we apply this same word to God. But God does not come from being. God comes from beyond being, from what Cusanus called transcendence. No concept we form with our minds can contain this. No mental image can capture it. And yet, something within us can feel it. Something within us knows. Spinoza, the great philosopher, concluded his ethics with a hymn to divinity. He spoke of what he called the intellectual love of God, not cold analysis, not blind faith, but knowledge joined with love. Understanding warmed by devotion. This love, Spinoza said, is God's own love flowing through us. This is not a concept, not a limited mental image. It is living life itself. The word theosophy should not be translated simply as divine wisdom. It means the search for wisdom, the path toward God, the quest for ever-increasing closeness to the source. We have the right to form opinions about the divine. We have the duty to make those opinions ever higher and more refined. But we must never presume that any opinion will exhaust the subject. What we need is reverence, devotion, a feeling of awe before the infinite. Western thinking has largely lost this reverence. We have become critics, skeptics. We stand apart from life and judge it. But when reverence awakens again, something changes. The soul warms, the heart opens. We begin to feel what flows through the universe as living divinity. Goethe, who was more of a theosophist than most people realize, expressed this beautifully. Just as all existence has form, our thoughts too have form. And just as every formed being is a symbol, our ideas of God are symbols of God, never the divine itself. He wrote words that captured the essence of all spiritual seeking. Everything transitory is only a parable. Our bodies are transitory. Our thoughts are transitory. Even our highest concepts of God are transitory. But what they point toward is eternal. Rest now in that eternal. Let it hold you as you sleep. Subscribe for more Rudolf Steiner sleep lectures. And may your dreams carry you closer to the source.